Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
And I'm Greg Lloyd. Thanks for watching WGXA News at 5:30. Let's take a look at our top stories for the evening. Bibb County deputies are asking for your help finding this Ford F-150 truck, saying it's connected to a deadly shooting this weekend. 19-year-old Cameron Williams died after being shot at a car wash on Millerfield Road. If you can help, call deputies or Crime Stoppers.
The Macon Planning and Zoning Commission will decide if the Big House Museum can move forward with a controversial project in the Vineville historic neighborhood. The museum wants to demolish a house next to it and build an event center. That motion was denied last year.
And a big change coming to high school athletics. The Georgia High School Association says students should be able to profit off their names and likenesses. The new rule grants high school athletes rights similar to those recently granted to NCAA athletes. Download the WGXA News app or go to WGXA.tv for more on today's top stories. And it was a dramatic weekend on Capitol Hill as Congress rushed to barely avoid a government shutdown. But one moment that didn't involve a vote is part of the fallout now.
That's because Democratic lawmaker Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm, forcing a pause in the action and caused the evacuation of a House office building. There are now multiple calls for an investigation, even for the lawmaker to be expelled. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman has new reaction tonight.
Caught on camera, Congressman Jamal Bowman pulling a fire alarm in the heat of the budget debate Saturday, causing an hour-long evacuation of a congressional office building.
You know, I don't know why this has gotten so much attention. I was literally just in a rush to go vote, man. That's all it was. Republicans
say he did it to stall. Bowman claims he was just confused while trying to get from his office to the main Capitol building, posting, "I came to a door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I am embarrassed to admit that I activated the fire alarm mistakenly, thinking it would open the door." As law enforcement looks into it, critics ranging from Republicans to reporters calling Bowman's alibi hard to believe. One journalist explaining there are tunnels that take you from this building straight to the Capitol. It's very easy. I do it daily.
This is a former principal. He knows what a fire alarm is. If it really was just an accident, when the Capitol Police came to interview you, why would you lawyer up?
It is not the first time Bowman's actions have gone viral, like this shouting episode about gun control that caused his own party's members to try and calm him down.
More guns lead to more death.
Amid calls from the right for him to be removed from office, even arrested, Democrats defending the progressive lawmaker who was talked about in some circles as a potential candidate for New York City mayor. Bowman's colleagues call it hypocrisy that Republicans go after him but haven't ousted recently arrested lawmaker George Santos on multiple fraud charges.
They are protecting someone who has lied to the American people, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule. Give me a break.
It's now up to Capitol Police and potentially a House Ethics Committee to determine what, if anything, happens next. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
The question tonight also, will House Speaker McCarthy survive to fight another day? That's the question on many lawmakers' minds as Congressman Matt Gaetz looks to oust their leadership from the role. Politico reports many in the GOP says the answer is yes, and Gaetz seems to believe so too.
How many Republicans do you have?
Well, enough so that when you host this show next week, if Kevin McCarthy is still the Speaker of the House, he will be serving at the pleasure of the Democrats. He will be working for the Democrats.
Gaetz says he will continue putting up motions to vacate every day until successful. McCarthy might need help from Democrats to avoid that outcome. He blames them for stymieing his efforts at a CR to steer clear of a shutdown.
Democrats tried to do everything they can not to let it pass. Democrats stick together, but they did not want the bill.
But he did need Democrats to pass the bill this weekend, and they came through for him.
Efforts to disqualify former President Trump from running again in 2024 may not be successful. The Supreme Court just rejected taking up the 14th Amendment case, which was filed by a GOP presidential candidate named John Anthony Castro. Justices shut it down without comment or recorded vote, but there are still 2 challenges pending filed by Minnesota and Colorado that could present a stronger case to disqualify him.
A majority of voters would support efforts to disqualify former President Trump from running for president again in 2024. According to a recent Political Morning Consult poll, 51% of U.S. adults say the 14th Amendment prohibits Trump from running again versus 34% who disagree. The 14th Amendment says those engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. are disqualified from holding public office. Though the January 6th Capitol riot hasn't been legally defined as an insurrection, many accuse Trump of staging one. And Trump is raging against the judge overseeing the civil fraud trial, Arthur Engoron, even suggesting that criminal charges against him for letting the case proceed.
He refuses to acknowledge his own appellate division. And I think it's a disgrace to our country. It's a judge that should be disbarred. This is a judge that should be out of office. This is a judge that some people say could be charged criminally for what he's doing.
Trump claims the judge is a Democratic operative trying to interfere in the 2024 election. He also claims there was a statute of limitations on many of the alleged false statements, which could have resulted in 80% of the case being tossed, according to an appellate court ruling in June. While Trump and his team argue Engoron did not take the appellate court's ruling into consideration, he did, and he included it in his summary judgment last week. It could spell trouble, though, for Trump, considering Engoron is presiding over the case himself. Engoron says Trump's legal team never requested a jury trial.
We now have a clearer picture of what Border Patrol agents in this country have been dealing with for the last year. Some preliminary numbers are out for fiscal year 2023, which just ended on September 30th.
Christine Frizzell breaks down those numbers and concerns they are unleashing tonight.
These photos posted by a Border Patrol chief from Saturday showing migrants entering near Brownsville, Texas. A snapshot of a larger crisis, which has reportedly seen more than 2 million migrants encountered at the southern border for the second year in a row.
The numbers at this point are really not relevant because we know they're astronomically high. It's what the numbers represent that should shock us and scare us and worry us.
Former Acting Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection Mark Morgan pointing to recent examples like Pennsylvania fugitive Danielo Cavalcante, who fled his home country of Brazil to avoid being prosecuted for a murder there, only to go on and murder someone here. Incidents like this, combined with an alarming rise in the number of those on the terror watch list encountered between ports of entry, this year reaching 154, up from 98 in 2022, 16 in 2021, and just 3 in fiscal year 2020.
What it shows us is the type of individuals that are coming to our borders. It raises a significant legitimate national security threat.
That threat unleashing another one, just issued to Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas from 3 top Republicans demanding documents related to those terror suspects by October 13th, or else they'll consider taking other measures, including subpoenaing him. Secretary Mayorkas has continued to insist the border is secure.
It is the focus of this administration to build lawful pathways for individuals to access, to be able to realize the country of opportunity that America is.
On Capitol Hill, there is already an effort underway to try to impeach Secretary Mayorkas as new border security provisions were just stripped out of that temporary funding bill, but will likely play a role in negotiations for a more permanent one. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
Well, we turn the calendar to October over the weekend, but the weather hasn't really changed much, but it's nice. I can't complain.
Yeah, me either. I like it. Meteorologist Ryan Miranda says the warm temperatures will continue this week, but I know he is thrilled that things are going to shake up come the weekend.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited for this weekend to come up, and I think the current graphics are behind me. Could we switch it over to Max 2 really fast? But this weekend, here we go. Thank you. We are last 4 days. Temperatures have been a little bit warm, above average, either in the upper 80s, with a lot of sunshine, pretty low humidity, and today is really no different. Temperatures are a little bit cooler, but really not a cloud in the sky out to Dublin with our Wilson Bright Heating and Air Skycast Network. Temperature 82 degrees. We do have a little bit of a breeze today, but dew points are still very comfortable in the upper 50s and low 60s. That's really that refreshing, comfortable air mass in this place, and it's really not going anywhere for the next week or so. Heading out the door for your Tuesday morning, still going to be pretty cool. We got down to 55 degrees this morning in Macon, going for an overnight low tomorrow at 58. So if you grab a jacket out the door, you won't need it by the afternoon. 58 degrees, and for Forsyth tomorrow morning, 56 in Warner Robins, 60 in Soberton, and 56 in Hawkinsville. So planning your day out tomorrow, grab the sunglasses, full sunshine, starting temperatures in the upper 50s, 82 degrees by 1 o'clock, 85 by 4, going for a high of 86 degrees. So tomorrow's another really spectacular day. But looking ahead at what's coming up, we have high pressure building in, so that means really lots of sunshine for this whole week. Very low rain chances. I am, though, tracking our next weather maker that could bring some rain chances. I'll talk more about that coming up in the full Sky Watch weather forecast. Amanda.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Many colleges are rethinking their policies on legacy admissions after the Supreme Court gutted affirmative action. Angela Brown explains the new changes that could be coming to campuses across the country.
The list of colleges ditching legacy admission is growing. This year, Virginia Tech ending legacy as a factor, along with the University of Minnesota. Amherst College eliminated legacy preference fall of 2022. The former president of Amherst discussing the impact on CNBC.
There's only been one class admitted since we did away with legacy preference, and the percentage of legacy students admitted went from about 11% down to 6%.
A move that's gaining support. The 2022 report from the Future of Fair Admission found that 89% of college admissions directors do not support the use of legacy preferences. Nicholas Giordano, Campus Reform.
I don't really believe that the Ivy League is going to do away with legacy admissions. Let's face it, they receive a lot of money towards their endowments from donors and alumni, and they don't want to lose that source of revenue.
The U.S. Department of Education has launched a civil rights investigation into Harvard's policies on legacy admissions. A complaint filed this year claims about 28% of the class of 2019 were legacies.
So the president was very clear even when the affirmative action decision was decided by SCOTUS that he made clear that legacy admissions hold back our ability to build diverse student bodies.
But not everyone agrees. The president of Duke University defended the use of legacy preferences last year, saying the idea that you could ban legacy admissions or ban any particular factor as a consideration is troublesome. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
Now, after 3 years, some 43 million borrowers are now back on the hook to pay off their student loan debt, and many of them say they aren't sure how they'll do it. According to the recent polling from CNET, 1 in 5 borrowers will be facing a monthly payment of more than $500. That same portion says that they do not know where or how they'll adjust their spending habits to do that. But 70% of borrowers say they'll have to make changes in order to afford essentials now that those payments have resumed.
Return to the big top. The Ringling Brothers Circus makes a comeback, but not without some changes. We'll take an in-depth look coming up.
Well, it announced it was closing down for good in 2017, but now it's making a comeback with a whole new look. National correspondent Mark Hyman got a sneak peek at the new Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and he had exclusive conversations with management and performers in tonight's Inside Your World Investigates.
There are ever-expanding choices for remote entertainment tailored to individuals. But an American icon is returning to an old formula.
Welcome to the show!
Live, in person, and in the middle of a crowd. After shutting down more than 6 years ago, the Ringling Brothers Circus has reemerged, reimagined. Citing a change in public attitudes, there are no more elephants, big cats, and other animal acts. Full-face makeup clowns are history, but some acts remain.
The traditional performances like a trapeze and a high wire and cheetah board.
The past 2 decades have not been kind to big circuses. Cirque du Soleil went through bankruptcy reorganization. Ringling closed in the face of falling attendance and a years-long legal battle with animal rights groups. That was settled when the ASPCA and the Humane Society of the U.S. collectively paid more than $25 million to Ringling for their unproven allegations of animal mistreatment. The Humane Society issued a statement to Inside Your World stating, in part, the Humane Society of the United States celebrates the momentous news that Ringling Brothers will be joining the many popular animal-free circuses and shows touring the U.S. The full statement is on our website. The ASPCA did not respond to our request for comment.
The greatest show on earth.
Ringling producer Juliet Feld-Grossman told Inside Your World there is no substitute for the in-person experience. The excitement and joy allows people to put aside their worries for a little while. Casting director Giulio Scatola, who conducted auditions in 5 continents, was tasked with building an entirely new Ringling from scratch. He selected 75 performers from 18 nations.
It's challenging, it's scary, but it's great.
Inside Your World watched a dress rehearsal of the new show. Animal acts and clowns have been replaced by human endeavor performances. With NFL, theme park, and concert tickets fetching hundreds of dollars each, a family of 4 can still go to Ringling and buy snacks and souvenirs for about $200.
We're for families, and so we always consider in our pricing making sure that we are accessible to families.
Show presenter Lauren Irving, who also sings the opening and closing numbers, said the energy level is so high throughout the nearly 2.5-hour show that audience members will not look at their phones.
There's just too much excitement to be concerned with what's on social media, truly. It's just energy, energy, energy.
Fellow show presenter Jan Dam made it clear this is not entertainment with subtitles or pause and rewind buttons.
You cannot experience what our audience will experience on streaming service, at a movie theater, anywhere else. You can only get it here, the greatest show on earth.
For Inside Your World Investigates, I'm Mark Hyman, near Sarasota, Florida.
A really nice and relatively warm weekend, but there are changes on the way. From our temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, placed much of our area, much of the East Coast, temperatures pretty likely to be below average. This is going to be a cold front that runs through by the end of this week and in towards next weekend. So let's go live on our Wilson Bryan Heating and Air Skycast Network. Looking out to Mercer University, bright blue skies out there, high pressure fully in place. It has been a little breezy. You can see some of those flags. We have the wind out of the east-northeast around 9-10 miles per hour, but at least we've had lots of sunshine and temperatures have been very comfortable. It's been a seasonable day. Currently 85 in Macon, 81 in Cochrane, 80 in Gray, and 85 degrees right now in Montezuma. Satellite and radar, they're showing that there's nothing going on over the eastern half of the U.S. This is high pressure in place. We get the sinking air, the subsidence. It dries things out, usually means quiet weather. However, this is what I'm tracking for Friday, maybe into Saturday. It's a cold front. This actually has some snow, a part of it in the Rocky States. That's headed our way. We don't get any snow, but it will have temperatures tumbling a little bit. For the fair forecast this upcoming weekend, Thursday and Friday are looking really nice. Temperatures holding into the mid 80s by the afternoon. That front rolls through Friday night, Saturday morning. Temperatures plummet down into the mid 70s. Not going to be cold, but it's really going to be a nice refreshing fall weekend. In terms of the rain chances, though, the best shot of them will be Friday night or Saturday morning. It's not washout whatsoever, though. 1 or 2 showers or storms could be firing up The timing still looks to be a little bit towards Friday night, but could shift really either other way, but it's not going to be a washout when we get the rain. Tonight, though, still another cool night, down to 58 in Macon, 56 in Warner Robins, 59 in Mount Vernon, and 57 degrees in Irvington. Tomorrow, though, grab the sunglasses. A day like today, sunny, warm, up to 86 degrees. Going to be another nice day with high pressure fully in place. Now, here's Tropical Storm Philippe. Not much is going on right now. Max sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. This is going to move north over the next few days, staying east of Bermuda, so we won't be getting impacted by the storm, but we'll still watch it as we have still about another 2 months left of hurricane season. And in your 10-day forecast, sunny and warm tomorrow, up to 86 degrees. We keep the sunshine straight through the middle of the work week. Temperatures starting to rise back up, 87 on Thursday. Friday, we could have some clouds rolling through, but most of the day looks to be dry, 85 degrees, and that front rolls through into Friday night. Temperatures cool down into the mid-70s, near perfection. Look at those morning lows next week in the upper 40s. Lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop Fish and Game forecast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Everyone, I am here again today at All About Animals Rescue in Macon-Bibb County. I'm joined with Lisa and some of her helpers that they have here, and we have got some puppies we're going to show you today, and I'm going to let Lisa tell you about these.
Oh my gosh, this is the most precious thing. We have puppies, y'all. We have lots of puppies, and it's very rare that we have puppies. But these puppies were abandoned, and now they're available for adoption. They're about 8-9 weeks old, and as you can tell, we have quite a few.
Full of energy, too.
Full of energy, that wonderful puppy breath in the mornings. And here's your forever friend right here. I mean, this will be your friend for life.
And you can see we're being overrun
with puppies this morning, and come on!
We're being overrun
by
puppies.
We love it.
So we have plenty of puppies here. So listen, if you want a puppy, now's the time to go ahead and do that. So Lisa, if someone would like, and listen, you can even name them what you want to. We got puppy A, B, C, D. You can name them what you want to name them. How would they go about adopting one or all of these puppies?
Oh, please take them out. Listen, good point, Gary. We really don't want them to grow up here at the shelter.
No.
We want them to have, here they come, their forever home. So please send us a message on Facebook and let us know you saw these adorable puppies on TV, and we will be glad to set up a meet and greet for you to adopt one or all.
They're trying to eat my shoe. That's All About Animals, folks. Let's go ahead and do that today. These puppies, they got to find a home. Let's take care of that today. Thank you, Lisa.
Well, October is National Pet Wellness Month, and it's a reminder to take steps to ensure your furry friend is healthy and well so that they can live a long and happy life. Here are some tips to do that. Schedule their annual or biannual checkup. If they haven't had one, make sure they're spayed or neutered. Talk to your vet about any breed-specific health issues to look out for. Obesity is a common problem in dogs and cats today, so talk to your vet about what you can do if your pet is not at a healthy weight. And be sure they're up to date on their vaccinations and medications, and consider getting them a dental cleaning. They need their teeth cleaned just like we do. So I actually just took Luke, so I guess I'm ahead of the celebratory day.
You know what? And I have a confession to make too. I feel like a bad dad because Tyson Gregory, my cat, he weighs 20 pounds, you guys. And the vet said, you've got to put him on a diet. But every time he meows and was hungry, I would give him, even though it's diet food, but I've given him too much of it. So now we're going through the diet. And so Dad's not as popular these days.
Yeah, he's probably not caring for you at all
he's
right
not.
now.
Luke was not happy when he got his vaccinations
Luke
about a
was
month
so
ago.
cute.
He was a little angry with me.
Yeah, they know when they're going to the vet.
They
get
know
nervous,
somehow.
I think.
They-
Luke was
they
super
know.
excited when he got in the car, and then he was like, wait a second. Something's off
What's
here.
up with
But
this
then
car
you have
trip?
to entice them with like a pup cup or something from Starbucks.
Yeah, I gave him a
That
treat
is
when
so-
we got
that's cool
home,
that they
but
do that.
he still wasn't my biggest fan that day.
Yeah.
It wasn't
And
until
then they
about
get
24
over
hours
it.
later,
Yeah, about
Yeah.
24 hours later, and they're loving on you like always. I love that. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. WGXA News at 5:30.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Have an amazing evening, Middle Georgia.